everyone, I am Ayushi Gandhi and today we are going to discuss about carbon footprint, which is also one of the global environmental issue. So what does carbon footprint means? Total amount of greenhouse gases produced to directly and indirectly support human activities, usually expressed in equivalent tons of carbon dioxide. So what does carbon footprint means? Whenever any activity is done by human beings and carbon dioxide released during those activity, that is known as carbon footprint. Your carbon footprint is the sum of all emission of carbon dioxide which were induced by your activities in a given time frame. Usually a carbon footprint is calculated for the time period of a year. So for example, I do several activities in day in which I release several amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. My carbon footprint is calculated over an year. So for 365 days, how much tons of carbon dioxide I have released in the environment, that is calculated and that is known as my carbon footprint. So what happens here? Why we need to calculate the carbon footprint? Because carbon released in the atmosphere will increase the temperature in our surrounding and will result into many dangerous effects in our surrounding. So that's why carbon footprint is calculated so that we release less amount of carbon in the atmosphere and be aware of that. So here is some basic calculation of how much amount of carbon is released by different fuels. For example, we can see here petrol, which is 1 liter. If 1 liter of petrol is combusted, then 2.3 kg of carbon is released. If 1 liter of gasoline is combusted, then 2.3 kg of carbon is released. If 1 liter of diesel is combusted, then 2.7 kg of carbon is released. If 1 liter of oil is heating, then 3 kg of carbon is released. So if you are driving 300 kilometers every day, so if your car is utilizing 7.5 liter diesel for 100 kilometers, and if you are driving for 300 kilometers, then how much amount of liter of diesel can be consumed? So 3 into 7.5. So 22.5 liter of diesel is consumed by your car. So for 1 liter of diesel, how much amount of carbon dioxide was emitted? 2.7 kg. So for 22.5 liter, how much amount of carbon will be released in the atmosphere? Then 60.75 kg of carbon. 22.5 into 2.7 kg is equals to 60.75 amount of carbon is released in the atmosphere. So if in an year you are driving your car for 300 kilometers and if it is a diesel car and it consumes for every 100 kilometer it consumes 7.5 liter of diesel, then you are releasing a carbon footprint of yours which is 60.75 kg of carbon is released by just driving a car in an year. So this is some basic calculation of carbon footprint. So now each of the following activities add 1 kg of carbon to your personal carbon footprint. So if you want to calculate your personal carbon footprint, then you can see this example. Travel by public transportation. Everyone travels by public transportation. A distance of 10 to 12 kilometers will release 1 kg of carbon to your personal carbon footprint. Drive with your car a distance of 6 kilometers or 3.7 miles, 7.3 liters petrol per 100 kilometers or 39 mpg. Fly with a plane a distance of 2.2 kilometers or 1.375 miles will release 1 kg of carbon. So each and every example is of release of 1 kg of carbon. Operated your computer for 32 hours, then 1 kg of carbon is added to your personal carbon footprint. Production of 5 plastic bags will release 1 kg of carbon to your personal carbon footprint. Production of 2 plastic bottles, production of 1/3 of an American cheeseburger will release 1 kg of carbon to your personal carbon footprint if you do these activities. Okay, now there are categories of carbon footprint. So there is a direct carbon footprint emission or indirect carbon footprint emission. So what do you mean by direct carbon footprint emissions? Greenhouse emissions are classified as direct when they are generated from company or controlled sources and activities. These are also called scope 1 emission, largely include fuel burned in a company owned asset and air conditioner and refrigerator use. For example, boiler with a gas fuel used by company would produce greenhouse gases. It can be considered as primary emission for calculating the footprint. So when you know the source from where the carbon is released and you are solely responsible for that, then it is known as direct emission of carbon footprint. Companies who produce or manufacture products, they are known as primary source of carbon footprint. If as a consumer I am utilizing that product, then I am an indirect source of carbon footprint there. So consumer is indirect source and the producer is a direct source of carbon footprint. So you should also know what are greenhouse gases. So greenhouse gases are carbon dioxide, methane, CFC and nitrogen oxide. So these are four major greenhouse gases which increases the temperature of the earth. So when you release carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, it increases the temperature, and that's why it is important to calculate the carbon footprint. Now, what do you mean by indirect carbon footprint or indirect emission of a carbon footprint? Indirect greenhouse emission sources are those emissions related to company activities, but they are emitted from sources owned or controlled by a third party. These are categorized as either as scope 2 emission. Example, air travel. So as a consumer, I am traveling by the air, but the fuel is coming from some other company and it has been fueled inside the aeroplane. So during my travel, the combustion is happening, but I am the indirect source of that carbon footprint. Use of paper. Paper is manufactured by some other company. I am just utilizing that paper. Use of packaging material manufactured by other companies. So there is one company who is manufacturing the product, but there is another company who is making the packaging of that product. And I am the consumer who is utilizing that product, and that time I am an indirect source of that carbon footprint. So there are different types of carbon footprint: organizational, value chain, product and supply chain. So there are four types of carbon footprint. What do you mean by organizational carbon footprint? So includes the emission in making of product. So while making the product, the amount of carbon dioxide released in the environment is known as organizational carbon footprint. What do you mean by value chain carbon footprint? It includes the emission in making as well as transport of product. Include only direct emission. So while making of the product and transportation of the product by the company itself, then it is known as value chain type of carbon footprint. So it only includes direct carbon footprint. So I've got all the raw materials in the company. So during the making of the product, the carbon released, and during transporting the product, the carbon released is known as value chain carbon footprint. What do you mean by product carbon footprint? Includes the emission in procurement of raw material, making and transport. Include direct and indirect carbon footprint. So here what happens, whenever I am transporting the raw material from one source to my company, so at that time, whatever amount of carbon released during the making of the product from the raw material, the carbon released, after the product has been made, I am delivering it to the consumer. At that time, whatever amount of carbon is released, the consumer is utilizing that product and throwing it into the dustbin. During that interval also, the amount of carbon released, and while recycling that product, the amount of carbon released, that all amount of carbon released during from extraction of raw material to making of the product, transporting of the product to the consumer, then utilizing the product, then throwing it to the dustbin, from that recycling the product, from all these activities, the amount of carbon released is known as product carbon footprint. Supply chain carbon footprint. Emission from raw material and services that are purchased by an organization in order to deliver its service and products. So while I want to buy raw materials to make the product, so transportation of raw material from the source to the company, at that time whatever amount of carbon is released, and after the product has been made, I am delivering it to the consumer, at that time whatever amount of carbon is released, that is known as supply chain carbon footprint. So I hope you understand what is organizational carbon footprint. Activities which is done in organization in making product, at that time whatever amount of carbon released is known as organizational carbon footprint. Value chain carbon footprint is includes the emission in making as well as transport of the product. Product carbon footprint is from extracting raw material to making of the product to transporting it to the consumer, after that using of that product, after that throwing it into the dustbin, then recycling the product so during the whole process whatever amount of carbon is released, that is known as product carbon footprint. Supply chain carbon footprint, emission from raw material and the services that are purchased by an organization in order to deliver its service and product, that is known as supply carbon footprint. What will be the effects of carbon dioxide released in the environment? Obviously the temperature will increase and that will result into climate change. So climate change is the ultimate effect of large carbon footprint greenhouse gases, whether natural or human produced, contribute to the warming of planet. From 1990 to 2005, carbon dioxide emission increased by 31%. By 2008, the emission had contributed to a 35% in radiative warming, or a shift in Earth's energy balance towards warming over 1990 levels. So the temperature of the Earth is increasing day by day due to release of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Depletion of resources. Large carbon footprints deplete resource on a large and a small scale. From a country's deforestation activities to one home's increased use of air conditioner, the more those with large carbon footprints use resources, the more greenhouse gases increase and spur further climate change. So more and more resources we utilize to upgrade our lifestyle, for example, air conditioner, deforestation, by cutting trees, the amount of carbon dioxide will increase in the atmosphere and resources will get depleted. So now what steps are taken by the world to stop the emission of carbon dioxide or greenhouse gases in the environment and to protect environment? So there are 3 steps which are taken by the countries all over in the world to stop the emission of greenhouse gases, to conserve the resources, to protect the environment. The first one is known as Montreal Protocol. So in Montreal Protocol, in 1987, 27 industrialized countries signed an international agreement to protect the ozone layer in the stratosphere. So Montreal Protocol was signed for the protection of ozone layer in the stratosphere in 1987. That was the first step taken. Second step was Kyoto Protocol. An international conference was held in Kyoto, Japan, to reduce this overall greenhouse gas emission to 5% below the 1990 level. So to reduce the greenhouse gases emission by 5% from 1990 level, Kyoto Protocol was designed in Japan. As Kyoto is a city in Japan, the name of the protocol is named as Kyoto Protocol. So the third step is Earth Summit. The United Nations Conference on Environment and Development held at Rio de Janeiro, Brazil in 1992, established the principle of reducing greenhouse gas emission. So in Earth Summit, principles were designed to reduce greenhouse gases. So there are 3 steps taken all over the world to reduce the emission of greenhouse gases, to reduce the destruction of ozone layer and to protect our environment. These 3 steps are taken: Montreal Protocol, Kyoto Protocol and Earth Summit. So what should be the conclusion? How can we save environment, how can we reduce the emission of carbon dioxide in our surrounding? We should take measures to shorten our carbon, of course, by reducing the amount of greenhouse gases, mainly carbon dioxide, we can protect the environment. Thank you for watching this video. I hope to see you in the next lecture of Environmental Science. Thank you. I hope you learned about the importance of carbon footprint and how you can calculate your own carbon footprint. There are also calculators available online where you can add your day-to-day activities, and it will show you how much amount of carbon you are releasing and what is your carbon footprint. Thank you for watching this video and hope to see you in the next lecture. Thank you.